Call the meeting to order, 6:30, let's get going. Any public comments?
No, sir.
One signed up. Okay, let's look at the minutes and we'll vote on those. Dr. Gray could not be here tonight, but we will muddle through. Ms. Vivian, thank you for sending us the minutes and the agenda and everything. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
About ready to vote on them?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Everybody good with that? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I hear none, so the minutes are approved as written. Item 4, ag element of comprehensive plan.
Yes, sir. So last meeting, we voted on, sent this down to planning commission. This is the document you all sent. It's October, New Year's not too far away, and this will go before council, and it still has to get voted on by planning commission. It'll go to council. These will be marching orders for us, give or take. So I thought it would be a good time to at least put it in front of you. We got enough lead time where you all could look at it, and over the course of the next month or whatever time frame, we can start looking at what you all want to look at come next year. So that way, whenever it does get ratified, we can say, all right, well, we've already been kind of picking around, maybe we do this and this and this and see what really fits. While there's priorities, there's also things that make sense, some low-hanging fruits and things to kind of get done. So I just wanted to put in front of you as reading material, something for you all to say, hey, this is what I'm gonna hang my hat on this year kind of thing, or next year. So whatever you all think would work, and just kind of keep it. We can bring it up next meeting and the following meeting until you all kind of work it out. And that'll be for the first meeting of next year. But just look at it, figure out what you all want to start working on.
Has anyone heard any feedback from people that you've sent it to, shared it with? I've shared it with a lot of people, anybody I could think of, and I really hadn't had much feedback. So I think it's a good document. I think that we can continue to refine it and focus what the priorities, like you said, prioritize.
Yeah.
I think the communication hub is one of the most urgent priorities.
Excuse me, I missed, did you say, when is council gonna get the whole document or whatever to go?
My timeline may not be the timeline that occurs.
Oh, okay.
But optimally, at the next meeting, I'm gonna give planning commission the big book of all the goals, objectives for all 10 strategies. They'll also look at some other items. Then they could ask me to put together the document as a whole, the phone book, as it will be. And hopefully sometime in November or December, council will get it. They'll have to do a hearing, so it'll be 30 days advertisement. So I believe we're looking at sometime in November or December, council will get it. And then they have to do 3 readings for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if the planning commission's voted on it yet?
They voted to accept it, as you all, did mention. The planning commission also voted to they got some feedback, planning commissioners voted to add, the South Carolina Right to Farm Act, the words of it, the Right to Farm Act into the comp plan as well. So that's nice, it's in there as well, it's kind of a guiding document.
Any other comments on the plan? All right, let's move to number 5, the Ag and Art. Does anyone know the plans for that this year? Is there going to be one?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Date's already been set.
Here's the second, third,
Yeah,
or
November.
November. It's 4 different places. Chattooga Bell, the end of the road like it was, those two are in it this year, and then they've added the farm center and the corn maze. Little Cane Creek, I'll get it out in a minute, I couldn't think of the name of it.
They're just,
It's Pat.
Pat Williams.
Pat Williams.
Hadn't heard about those.
I missed the beekeepers meeting this week, but I'd like to see our beekeepers represented at one of them, if anybody's interested in us having an observation hive or something.
yeah,
I can get one.
more than welcome to come to the farm.
Okay. I'll see what's available. I don't have the bees, but I'll be glad to man the observation hive.
Have we had any invitations to participate in
What you mean?
Ag and Art? Are we, as a community, or as a board, are we gonna participate?
I think we
You're
should.
invited to come to the farm board. That's what you want.
Well, I mean, last year, we kinda organized the table
Oh, you
and
mean-
set up and talked to people,
Oh,
had
different
stuff to
places.
hand out,
Yeah, I'd
so.
like to have some of those things, the, little infographic things you made up.
I can certainly, print those up, I don't have any copies. We had them made for the Apple Festival, so we do have some infographics.
Okay.
I will get those. If that's something you all wanna do as set up a table or just go independently, we can figure that out now if that's something that you all would like to do. And I can certainly help with set up infrastructure for it as far as whatever you all would like to do. So what would you all like to do regarding Ag and Art?
I personally would just like, if you can float around and visit the different places and, represent the Ag Commission at any of the 4 that you have time to go attend. And rather than having a set time or.
It happens in 18 days, 11 hours, 21 minutes, and 25 or so seconds.
We can't think too long.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Unless anyone prefers to go to one place and set up, then I agree with Ed there. I enjoyed my time last year at the End of the Road Studio, and we were there in conjunction with Dr. Mickey Hall, and she had her poultry demonstration set up there, so we had a good time. Had a nice time.
We could, I think it'd be nice if we had, at least had some of those infographics, just, I think the different locations could, be nice to have them there.
I know I
Be
can.
somebody managing it or whatever.
Sure.
They're all close enough where I can go distribute. I'll print up a handful and make sure that they're there for y'all to distribute. Or if you want to come swing by, whoever wants to go, I can get them to y'all.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm gonna try to get up an observation hive to go somewhere. I might go to your place one day and somewhere else another day or something.
Be fun.
I'll let you know, so you won't be shocked.
You can just show up.
Well, let's try to visit and support. Not only is it fun, but it's part of our communication, and,
It was a big success last year.
yeah, it was.
Marlene, you're gonna be at the farm center, aren't you? You'll be
I'll sit
working.
on there, yeah. I'd like to get some
All right, well, let's all
stuff
visit
going.
and bounce around and see who you can visit and grab some infographics. Let's do that and talk it up. So,
That's, yeah.
I don't know if I got the banner back yet. I left some information up at the farm center. The infographics I had, and I don't think I got the banner back yet, so run that down. Anything else on that? How about number 6, communications and updates?
So if I may, so the one thing that we've just started working on is the US Census. Every 10-year census happens 2020. The county is gonna have a census counts committee. The planning department will be involved in, our side of it is getting the word out and trying to get people to respond. And as you all are aware, getting people to respond to surveys, especially the census, is a task. So the last 10 years ago, we had about a 72% or so response rate, which is pretty good, I would say. The county's gonna work with multiple agencies to kind of push out the message of the census, because there's hundreds of millions of dollars that we would be up for grabs from county level based on our census numbers. And if, we leave money on the table if we don't get counted, and they've shortened it down to, I think, 12 questions or 20 questions. It's available online this time for the first time. So we're trying to get all the different groups together to say, hey, let's get counted. So from the ag perspective, my first stop was, wow, this group here, to get involved, to get the word out to farmers. Hey y'all, here it goes. Here's census counts. And I'll as we formulate something a little more clearly, I'll get it to you all. But hopefully we can work as a group and get all the other farming entities together. Say, all right guys, let's get counted. The ag census was about 70%. I think we can do a little bit better than that with much shorter online form, so that was my census shtick.
It's very important. The ag census is, for agriculture is very important, along with the 10-year census. Go ahead.
Well, along the communication lines, I did a little looking, and I found that Clemson Extension has a blog called scgrower.com, and I looked at it, and it was mostly comments and little articles and short snippets by Extension agents, and so I don't know if that is an appropriate place for us to post things, but you might check it out. It's pretty interesting. They do talk a little bit about the upstate. It's scgrower.com. All one word, lowercase. And another one is, I've got an idea. I'm trying to follow up on, see if we can post things to this site. The Farm Center has a website, but I don't know if they would want us to do that. I'll have to ask them.
They have a website?
They do have a nice website, and they might be willing to let us post things there. I've sent Stan and Gwen a message, and we'll see what they say.
I mean, I wonder if they could create a calendar of event page for, like we were talking about, agriculture events in Oconee County. In upstate, but primarily Oconee County, things that are just like the ag and art. I mean, is that on their site? If it's not, then, if it's just one page, it has monthly updates of calendar of events, or weekly updates of things that are going on. A lot of the things would be the standard, the farmer's market, that'd be posted every week, but new things like, just using ag and art as an example, how are people gonna know about it?
I know they have it. I help with the Facebook page for the Farm
Right.
Center.
And there's nothing on there.
The Foothills Market, and they have it on there. Facebook page.
Anything in November? Find out how to get there.
It has not been
There's no
populated.
air on the right. But see, right there, this calendar is blank. They've got a calendar on there and there's not a thing on there. And if you look, Adam's pulling it up and there's nothing on the calendar,
For October.
October.
nothing. And so there's all kind of ag events have gone on or going on, or FFA events, but all those things that are related could be put somewhere. And that, you know,
Agree. The fair was a good example that, there were two banquets there that people confused and didn't hear about adequately, so. But as far as the Farmer Appreciation Dinner sponsored by Farm Bureau, it was well attended. I think there were we estimated 225 people thereabouts, and it was a good event. Mr. Harriott spoke about the importance of our open space and our green space and our farmland. And his wish is that his family, his sons and grandsons have the same opportunity as he did, which is to farm, if they so choose. So Mr. Harry's a good speaker. He's the president of Farm Bureau. He came and gave a good talk. It was a good meeting. But yeah, we need a central repository where we can put calendars and events and things. So we'll continue to work on that and try to make it better. Anything else on those lines? If not, we'll move to number 7, old business. I don't know of anything that don't think of anything?
not whole business.
All right, new business? There's an opportunity this Friday. I just saw this young man's coming to talk at Clemson about, it's called All Things Hemp, discussion and question and answer with Rick Trojan, Friday, October 18th at 3 o'clock in the Bio Research Complex. He's traveled 4 continents, and he's talking about ways hemp can be used in food, construction, dietary, textiles, innovative applications in engineering and technology. And he's traveled the U.S. And has documented. It's called Hemp Road Trip, which sounds interesting. So he brings a lot of experience in a vast global network. And I can let Adam post this, or if y'all are interested. But, I mean, it sounds like an interesting program. It is at kind of an odd time. It's at 3 o'clock on Friday, but it looks to be a good program.
That's a larger thing than you'd think, just thinking about hemp. You think permissible purposes, you know, of making
That's a
people
lot.
feel better or whatever. But this takes the place, I've even heard it takes the place of plastic.
Yes.
Because this is a whole lot bigger than people
Well,
could
this-
ever.
This is one of those prime examples of this being communication disseminated amongst agricultural people in Oconee County. And if Mr. Rex hadn't have brought that to our attention, I'd have known nothing about it. I mean, none of us, did anybody know about this prior to just now? And so, bam, it should be posted out there on that calendar right now and sent out there to the world if we had a calendar to put it on. That's a little short notice, but
Because there's good many growers now that's on this thing.
Danny Ford's one.
It went from 14 growers in the state last year to the current list I saw not long ago is 144 people
it will grow again
permitted
next
for
year.
hemp this year.
I sold a guy from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He came down. He said that they were backlogged so far for that machine to lay plastic down for that hemp that he was begging to buy my machine that was just sitting there. He came all the way from Tennessee for it. He said it's backed up. He said we won't get no machine this year if we don't buy this one.
I've got a brand new one under my shed that's been used 3 times.
Oh, my goodness.
Plastic layer with irrigation.
You need to put her on there.
I need to put it on. Put it up for sale, I guess.
It went.
Start growing
Now,
this.
whether or not they have boosted production in making those machines or whatever, but at that time, they were.
Don't they combine that hemp?
See,
Don't they combine the hemp, ain't that
it's combined and baled up and then taken to the process. Some of them, they are doing 2 different ways, though. For the CBD oil, they're planted in lines like, well, they do in marijuana in North Carolina, that's with plastic laying. Oh, yeah, it's amazing. But a wonderful education tool that we could pass out to the community if we had a way to disseminate that information.
Keep it from being a one thought. you know,
But need, yeah,
because that's what most people think, you know, that's older folks too.
yeah. No, it's,
And younger folks, they just don't know anything about it
it
yet.
loves hot, humid weather.
Perfect.
Like,
Is there a place we
Like
can post these items?
So, yeah, we have our ag site, no one's gonna go, I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers of the people who are gonna go to our county ag site, I'm sure I can. We could post it there, and if we get organically grow our base, we could get people to look at it. But right now, I don't know that, you gotta start it somewhere, so yeah, we definitely could do it, but there's probably a more effective way, like the farm center,
farm
if they're
centers.
interested. I mean, they seem to
bulletin
do that.
board, if they would start a page, bulletin board, you know, here's the calendar of events for the ag is, you know, you really need to push, see if,
Somebody to keep
Stanley,
it
yeah.
up, that's the thing.
yeah. Well, we could send the information, I mean, every meeting, we'd send more information to them, you know, or every week when somebody comes up with something, just have a central email we can send it to, and then surely somebody could post it.
That was my thought too, is visible enough on the county website? Do people go to the county website?
Not the ag.
Will they go to the ag board section? You know?
I haven't counted the numbers, I'm sure I could find out the number of clicks that it gets. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not real high. But there's something to be said about getting all the information together, we've talked about it enough. So how do we address first of all, not talking about pushing the information out, how do we get all the information? Mr. Blanton works at Clemson, he happened to hear about it.
Right.
Some people hear on social media, some people just happen to know someone. I mean, perhaps maybe the first thing we need to do is identify the sources of information. How about that? If we can all identify where I, as a staff member for the county, should be looking, and if I can identify those and set up a way to either join their listserv or join whatever, get the information, then we can work on packaging it and pushing it. If not a website, then an email blast. But I get too much email as it is.
Yeah.
What does that look like? So if you all could help me identify the sources of information, let's start there.
I don't know if this was on the extensions, but they have, Clemson's webpage has an extension section, and they have a running calendar that goes, I mean, it sometimes goes out a year, because I had to post stuff to it when I was program assistant. And, most stuff is on there that goes on at Clemson, and you can,
It's on their website now, you mean, most activities are.
and
Events.
not just, ag either, it'll, the whole thing, but you can zone, you can, filter down to just the ag stuff, extension, agriculture.
Is this the correct calendar, Ms. Debbie?
It looks pretty.
Um,
National FFA Week.
no, I'm talking about,
That's pretty much.
I'm talking about Clemson University.
Yeah, this is the extension.
Well, that's not the one, no,
Okay.
I'm talking about, it's just the main calendar, really.
It does have some interesting things. I think it's definitely FFA and other.
This is like a,
South Carolina Convention.
on their, at, Clemson's page, the main page, they'll have a calendar.
Well, other things too, like I think, the ag office here in Walhalla, any information there that needs to come out of there. Like right now, we just went into severe drought in Oconee County, like about 12 days ago. And now there's a cattle feeding program that you're available for if you have cattle operation. And so that just came available, but how do people know about it? How do farmers know about it if they're not informed somehow?
Well, if you're certified, and qualified, you're supposed to be on the list of letting you be notified.
And have you been notified?
I knew it because I'm chairwoman. I'm chairman.
She's on the
I'm
committee.
on the list, but I've not been notified.
You haven't yet? Well, we will. We're getting there.
This is your notifications.
But I'm saying,
I understand.
those are things
But
that,
I have called and texted and talked to people. I'm trying my best.
oh, no, I'm not saying, no, that's not your responsibility,
Well,
is it?
in a little bit. We're all on that committee. When we come up to people, we're supposed to keep,
But I'm saying that would be one of those things that would be posted on that.
Right, that would be
Okay,
good.
we just hit a severe drought.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 this is now available for cattle farmers.
Right.
In in Oconee County.
The clubs is what too we depend on, you
Yes.
know, the Cattlemen's Association.
Beekeeper Association, all
this-
of them.
and here, you know.
Sure.
And it kind of just if we can get a few most of the time, just like Pat Williams
Yeah.
and him and all, to let them stick it out there on their group,
Right.
because that travels faster.
But those are the things that need to come from those groups to that central hub, from all the different organizations out there. I think
I
would be
agree. There's a newsletter too, you know, that's sent out.
the cattlemen's, yeah.
Yeah, well, from Beth down there. She sent it out and telling all about this, and how many days there is gonna be an office opened up here Tuesday. There's gonna be somebody manning this Walhalla office Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays.
That's coming back.
They're gonna have people up here to, now you need to make the appointments first, because you know how it's gonna get.
Oh, yeah. But see, all that kind of information that, that cattle,
Exactly.
we're talking and nobody else knows what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But I'm saying that, I don't think, probably, I'm not being rude, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, I got you.
That information needs to be put out there, so all the different cattle farmers know that that's available. And there's a lot of things that come from FSA that never gets out there, I'm telling you, it never gets out there. It never reaches the farmers.
I'm learning a lot more, trying to.
Well,
I'm
if I may
studying
then.
even I'm studying.
Yeah.
So you all just said a few groups. It's Monday night. Is there a way for you all either to email or call or text me, and whatever groups have information that farmers need, even if there's overlap, and send me that list. I'll put the list together. I'll send it out to y'all. If y'all have contacts there, you fill out the contacts, send it back to me, and then that's step one, is find out where the information is, and then we'll go from there. At the next meeting, we'll make it a priority to figure out how we get, is everyone on the list that we need, and who
Keep
we
adding
send it
to
to,
it. Yep,
and how do we get it out there?
keep adding to it.
So, if you all could work on that, I mean, not to give you all homework or anything, but, Thursday or Friday's a great day to send me stuff. Or Monday or Tuesday or whatever, so. If that could be helpful, if you all are willing to work on, just send me a list of whatever groups we need.
Do our groups do Facebook or social media?
Some of them.
Yeah. All the ones I'm involved in.
They do?
Debbie, you probably got a pretty good list of what those groups are. I mean,
I actually have a Facebook page. It's called Deb's Voice for Agriculture, and I put a lot of announcements on it as well. A lot of people are really interested in what I do. I've even got a new member from Mississippi.
Well, that's what we need, something like that people look at that's fun, because I'm not the biggest Facebook fan, but it is kind of fun to go on there and read stuff. I'm not big on posting, but something like the social media account that we could throw things up there.
I think we always go.
Yeah, let's work on first getting all the information, and then let's make sure we have it all, get our content, and then we'll figure out how to get it.
Of course, they told me.
So if you all are willing, between this meeting, next meeting, get me whatever you can, I'll have that list in hand, and you all can look at it, review it, we can just take the next steps, if that works for you all.
sounds good to me.
We talked about this before, and I just want everybody, if you don't mind, to say where you get your news. Where do you find events, if you find them? I personally, I do enjoy Facebook, that part of it, the learning about events and stuff like that. I don't like all the, individual
Drama.
stuff that's on there, but political stuff or stuff like that. But I do look for events, and that's how I knew about the Ag and Art Tour, really, because I've been so out of touch, because I've been working such crazy hours. But like Marlene, where do you get your news?
Like you say, Facebook sometimes, and then people just, and me there, a lot of times.
Yeah, well, you're in the middle of everything.
That's just like and I can't remember the exact date, I think it's the 14th, is when we have that supper in November at South Union.
Oh, yeah, farmers.
Somebody's got
farmers
their email,
recognition day.
yeah.
You've got your,
That needs to be on there now.
yeah, exactly.
I
See,
hadn't even got noticed
and-
about that.
I got a mail out. Didn't you get your letter to mail your check back in or something?
I probably may have it.
Yeah, you probably did. You did,
Somebody else
didn't you?
may
Yeah.
do that probably.
But that, like you say.
They got it, they sent it in the mail?
See, what I feel obligated sometimes because they've sent it just like so early till I'm on the phone maybe 2 or 3 days before and I'm trying to call everybody. Because I do want people to show up to
Yes,
these,
sure.
you know.
What about you, Mr. Hollifield? Where you get your news?
Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure
I
it
never seen
does.
you on Facebook.
Seems like we're a Twitter guy.
You're a friend for? Yeah. That would be nice,
You know,
boy,
a
if
lot
we
of
had something.
I think a lot of it comes from other farmers that.
Yeah,
They'll run
that's
across
it,
something
yeah.
and somebody's told them and, you know, mouth to mouth, and that's a lot of times.
We don't even need Facebook.
That's,
What about you, Rex?
Farm book.
Well, those two I mentioned, the hemp and the other one I didn't mention is about a soil. There's a soil class coming up, end of October. And I sent it to Adam. I don't know if I sent it to any of y'all, but I got those from email notifications. And I get things off Facebook and radio. That's where I get my info.
so,
I just thought of something.
Yeah, there's a soil class coming up at the end of October. I'm sorry.
Could,
Down on my Facebook.
could we, and even if we had to purchase it, a calendar printed in the local paper once a week with a calendar of events for agriculture? Is that a possibility?
Anything's a possibility.
especially we got the money to pay for it is another story.
If I may ask that
I'm Caitlin
question
Harrington
to
from
the
the Journal,
representative
for
of
the
the Journal,
record.
yes.
Anything's a possibility if you'd like to pay for it. That's all I was saying. We do have an events calendar that runs daily. Not that anyone has mentioned they get their news from the newspaper, which definitely did not hurt my feelings at all. But we do have a daily calendar of events that runs. And then on Thursdays, we have more of an entertainment type calendar with, it's our going out calendar. So that has more things like ag and art would be a good fit for that spot.
Sure.
So there are some free opportunities already built into the newspaper if you just email them into Life, L-I-F-E, at upstatetoday.com. She coordinates all of our calendars. And if you didn't get that, you can get to me and I'll get it to the right people. But yeah, those opportunities do
Wonder if,
exist.
Mr. Chairman, would it be something that we could fund, or the county could fund, to pay for a section in there on a weekly basis, or monthly, weekly something? In the paper would be a start. You know, yes, we want a calendar on social media, website, whatever we need to do, but that could be a start in the paper to have a weekly ag calendar, that everything that we could think of. And then what's gonna happen is somebody's gonna see something wasn't put in there, and they're gonna call us and wanna know why it wasn't put in there. I say, well, you just get it to us. Because that'll happen the first time it's printed, is, oh, our event wasn't on there, well, send it to us. And then there's gonna, but at that point, there's gotta be somebody to catch all that information and send it on. I mean, I'm just thinking. I'm just asking a question, but that'd be a start, pretty quick, to get that ag, you know, and then, and in there, you could write, you know, ag minute comments, a little fun snippet about agriculture, and then here's the calendar of events. Just,
That's a great idea, is just take somebody to do it, and Adam has indicated
Well,
we
we
could
got millions of-
funnel it to him.
You got all that.
Give it back to us. That's what we talked about a minute ago, right?
Yes, sir. So, if I may, regarding funding anything, so, the budget's set for the county in July. So, that gives us time. So while July's a ways away, it would give us time presently to find, you know, if we wanna do social media, things like that, kind of refine what Mr. Rex Blanton's Ag Minute looks like, what the calendar looks like, our sources look like. That way we could send a request to council to fund something in the future budget year. So having something funded right now is probably not likely, although it's possible, so I'll ask for it, I don't wanna dissuade you from asking.
Sure.
But, perhaps if we kind of prototype it, beta test it using free methods or social media methods.
I was gonna say, we could try free first.
we'll fund one
They
month.
got to
as
get
well.
the information in soon enough, too.
Right,
They
so,
got
so speaking to Mrs. Harrington's point, if you care to, let's gather all the data sources first, let's find a way to where we should be looking at, and then find a way to get those to our free sources. And then we can work on that.
Till then, and the salesperson from the Journal could solicit some ag businesses to support
Sponsor.
the ag calendar that's in there on a weekly basis, and it could be a good thing from the fertilizer supplier, tractor suppliers, you know, farm businesses out there that might fund that, have their little logo at the bottom, and here's all the
Yeah.
information. I'm just trying to think of a way to make it happen now.
I was gonna say, my daddy used to, when he was alive and had his business, he would, he sponsor stuff like that all the time.
So that might be a good way to throw that out there, that, okay, this week, Oakway Tractor's gonna support it this week, and Dixon's has got it next week, and, you know, Chautauqua Bell's got it one week, or whoever, but maybe that businesses do that, and then their logo's thrown on there as part of the ag, whatever, we're gonna come up with this catchy name for it.
That's a great idea.
I'm just thinking brainstorm,
Good
and
idea.
it could happen faster that way. And then we'll throw it out there to the county to let them fund it, and then Oconee County can put their little logo on there, and they can fund it,
That's fair, so.
because they do it all the time.
That's fair. To do that, if you all would like to assign or let somebody work on the board's behalf with me to see what the steps are for that, that would probably be the most helpful.
Okay.
Because I would have to see what there's some, I gotta figure some stuff out. But if somebody
You
from
gotta
the
ask
ag
a lawyer.
board is willing to work with me, if you all wanna make a motion and vote to sign whomever to work with me to kind of figure that aspect of it out, that would be helpful.
All right, well, first we could take a volunteer. Anybody want to volunteer to help Adam with that? And then we won't have to vote you in there.
I'll make a few calls and stuff and help out them if that's acceptable with the board.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, so as motion to Mr. Land to work with staff regarding agricultural communication.
Just gotta get the people too that are out there that that's going to know this information.
I know, that's where we all gotta get.
Right.
We've all gotta get involved in it and send that stuff to that clearinghouse. To have enough, we could implement this for a couple of months, and then, if there's not much going on in January, February, March or something, but there's a lot of educational things going on in the winter.
That's what I'm saying, like the FFA teachers,
Oh, yeah.
let them know, what we're gonna do or whatever, and get the people that knows what's going
It's
on.
got- And a lot of
and what
it's
they're
got
gonna
to come
do.
from Clemson Extension. It's got to come from Clemson Extension.
Right.
But anyway, that's.
All right, so, there's a motion that Mr. Land work with staff on the communications. Is there a second?
So if I can't make motions, somebody else must make it
I'm
first.
sorry, all right. All right. We'll entertain a motion for Mr. Land to work with staff. Do I hear a motion?
Motion. I make a motion.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all right. All those in favor of Mr. Land working with Mr. Adam, raise your hand.
No.
All right, unanimous, and I'll help you too, Adam. I'm kind of interested in communication too, so I will.
Yes, sir. More help the merrier, whatever y'all have.
I'll bring up another way too is WGOG.
Sure.
They've got their website. You pull up on WGOG and they've got like the obituaries and sports and what have you. Might be another way of getting it out to the public, because most everybody's gonna look at the obituaries sooner or later. And they go down there, well, let's try this one.
That's what I think. I have a feeling.
Some of us look first thing to make sure we're not on there.
Obituary, since it's a dying.
Oh,
A lot of words said up here tonight that I wasn't expecting to hear.
well,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, further business?
one other thing, I mentioned this last month, Warner is retirement.
Oh, yeah.
Should we do something with somebody like,
Is-
y'all wanna discuss it, that maybe
When is he retiring?
in December?
Okay,
Is-
so we could do
Is
something at that.
the
dinner.
staff there at the
I have
Ag
no-
Center doing something for his retirement, as far as we could be a part of that? Definitely want to be part of that.
I was just thinking if we could do something like through county council, they recognize different people. And he's worked with what is it, CART?
Yeah, that's true.
He's worked with the county a lot. What's the one, the emergency services, CART or something like that? Sir, what is it called?
Person?
you know, like if we had a disaster and you had to move all the
CERT rings a
cows.
bell.
CERT, yeah,
Yeah, he does the radios,
yeah.
communication.
Yeah, he's worked with that for years, and so he's done a lot for our county, and I think we should recognize him or something at one of the county council meetings.
Would you be willing to write that up?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I hadn't got it completed yet. I'm looking at different sources. I know he's done a lot of work with the beekeepers
And the cattlemen.
and the cattlemen, so I'm working with
And
Pat, and
everybody.
we'll get Pat to give me some.
So would it be in the timeline that we could present him something at the banquet?
That's why I was,
Oh, that'd be perfect.
And that
That's a
date
good
is,
idea,
when is that
Mr.
date?
Glenn.
December
I have a
4th.
feeling they might
14th.
do that then, but,
Oh, that'd be great.
November 14th?
I mean, that could be a letter drafted from us as agriculture
I'll get my
advisory board.
thing looking again, if
And
somebody,
then presented,
Austin got where he
you know,
was.
stick it. Appreciation from us to him at the Farmers Recognition Dinner.
they probably are already planning something there, but, I was just thinking countywide, since we are representing the county.
So if you like, you all can, we can put it on for the next agenda, and I can
We still
start
have
working
time.
on the, if you wouldn't mind, ma'am,
I don't
working on the language, and I'll work from the administrative side to see what's available, what agendas are open, things of that nature.
Okay.
So, I'll start looking at,
I've got about 2.5 more weeks of work, and I'll be free for a little while, so I'll be able to work.
oh, I thought you would have 2.5 weeks left on this, the words you're coming up with, I'm like, how long?
No, to work, my days are crazy.
Gotcha.
All right, hearing no further business, would we entertain a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, good meeting, thank